Hey guys, welcome to my very first video. Today, we're diving into creating a third-person shooter game in Unity. But before we get started, let me hit you with a little boring story. So I wanted to get into game development, but my old laptop was more of a 1900s sports car. I figured if I saved up from a part-time job, I'd be rolling in the cash. I thought saving my allowance for a year would do the trick. Yeah, not so much. After a year of starvation, my fund wasn't still enough, but it was enough for in-app purchasing. So after 1 month of spending money on the best game money can buy, I became broke again. Then I had an idea. Since I'm living with my parents, why don't I ask them nicely? After a few more months of asking and crying, I finally got my dream laptop. I wouldn't say dream, but it's alright, I guess. As the saying goes, with great laptop come great gaming. After a few months of basking in my new tiny beast and showing it off to friends, I remembered, now that I have a slightly better PC, why don't I make that third-person shooter game I've always wanted? For those who don't know me, I've been learning game development for about 4 years now. So, clearly, I'm ready to create a third-person shooter game that'll knock Free Fire and Fortnite out of their socks. I'm just joking. When I mean learning, I mean avoiding and ignoring. So, after a sudden burst of energy, I'm back in action. Before we dive in, let's talk Unity. Unity is a game engine that make games, and those games are played by strangers. And those strangers give you money by playing your game. See, very simple. First things first, we'll start by setting up a new project. We'll call it something like Not Free Fire. Yeah, it sounds good, right? I made it up myself. Once our project is up and running, here's a quick rundown of the key parts. This is the hierarchy. Think of this as your game's family tree, where each game object is like a quirky relative, from flashy characters to background props. And this is the inspector. This is like that nosy neighbor who's always peeking into your game objects, showing all the details, settings, and properties. And this is the Unity window. Picture this as a magical portal to different realms of game development. And last but not least, this is the console. Console is your game's personal gossip column, keeping you updated on any issues or bugs that need fixing. Alright, let's cut the chit-chat and get started. Here's what we'll do. Step 1. Create a simple character and figure out some cool camera movements. Step 2. Create a mini-map and throw in some lazy enemies that won't win any races. Step 3. Design a UI for scores and game over.